Never. You'll never catch me, Holmes. I've eluded you this long, and I can assure you I'm not about to get caught now. This afternoon at Dr. Watson's office, I took the liberty of relieving you of your gun.
This morning at the gasworks, I took the liberty of removing the bullets.
Damn it, Holmes!
There is no means of escape this time.
Of course there is. There's always an escape. In my time, I've robbed the Khedive of Egypt. I've emptied the Bank of England. Do you think that I'll surrender to a two-bit consulting detective?
I'm afraid you'll have to.
Oh, please. The gun is empty.
I emptied only the third chamber. How else to catch a master criminal?
Mr. Holmes!
No, don't do it! It's free stories!
Mr. Holmes, thank God we're safe!
Well done, Mr. Holmes, well done. How do you do, Counsel Lindsay? Come, to get the papers from the dead body.
Papers are not on the body. I secured them this morning.
Excellent. Please hand them over.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Why not?
Because they compromise a young lady who deserves better. A young lady who made one small mistake, but will not, I promise you, pay for it for the rest of her life.
Mr. Holmes, the prince will be furious. He will ruin your reputation. He will have my...
Get out! Now! I don't want to see you ever again!
This is not over!
Kaczynski! Thanks! And you did promise to give him the letters?
Yes. Now that you see me in my true life, the only thing we have left to do is to say goodbye. My supposed friendship for you was a pretense, a sham.
I don't believe you.
Why not?
From the way that you look, from the way that you speak, you are not the only one who can tell things from small details. Kiss me. Kiss me and then tell me you don't love me.
I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! My name is William Gillette, and I thank you for your kind reception of our play about a man of reason who loses his heart and stands up for the one fixed star in his firmament, the cause of justice. As many of you know, I wrote this play some 15 years ago with the blessing of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in order to keep his greatest creation, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, alive and well on the stages of the world. And any success we have attained, I attribute entirely to Sir Arthur, though I'm more than happy to bask in his reflected glory. This was our final performance in New York City, but I hope that you come out and see us on tour again, which we begin right after Christmas in just... Wait, don't anyone move. That man has a gun. No, I mean it. I'm not joking. Well, he could be.
Oh, William! There he is! Stop him!
This is the news of the world for December 1936. Round the country there are lines again, but not for soup anymore. This time it's for jobs aplenty, as President Roosevelt fulfills his promise of a New Deal for all Americans. Meanwhile, Wanda Simpson, that American gal who changed the course of British history by capturing the heart of King, was spotted disembarking at the Brooklyn Pier, prompting speculation. Is it a New York waiting for these royal lovebirds? In entertainment news, Broadway star William Gillette is now recuperating in his Connecticut mansion after a near-fatal shooting on the stage of the Palace Theater just 2 weeks ago. We hear that movie stars galore, including Clark Gable and the glamorous Myrna Loy, have been visiting the great actor in Connecticut, hoping to speed his recovery. For now, we wish him well and look forward to hearing again his famous cry, "Watson, the game's afoot."
No, Portia! Get down! Down, Portia! Stop it! Oh, dear little Portia, I love that dog. Where does she look above that mantle? Oh, be quiet, Portia! Willie! Willie, would you get the door for me? I've been having trouble with this corsage.
Sorry, Mother, I'm still in my robe. I simply can't do things as quickly with this damn sling on my arm.
Well, then you shouldn't have invited all your friends for the weekend. And on Christmas Eve.
But that makes it festive. And besides, they don't have any other family to speak of.
Oh, Balderdash, I find this very odd. You were shot just 2 weeks ago, and you need to recover.
I am recovered. I'm simply lame at the moment, like Richard III. I am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass. I am rudely stabbed, and want your majesty to struck before a wanton ambling nymph. And it's so lady and unfashionable, the dogs bark at me as I walk by them. Well, then I can't close the door to my bathroom. I'm not eccentric.
Well, you're a big help. It's like living in a madhouse when the gatekeeper's on holiday. Hello, who is it?
It's Simon.
And Aggie.
And, oh my gosh, is there a speaker in the door or something?
Yes, dear, it's called a speakerphone. It's one of Willie's harebrained ideas.
Mrs. Gillette?
Well, hello, Aggie. It's so nice to meet you, dear.
This is amazing. It's like Flash Gordon or something.
Where are you then?
I'm in the drawing room, but I'm still getting dressed.
You're getting dressed in the drawing room? Does it have a window so I can watch?
Oh, stop it, you terrible boy.
The door seems to be unlocked. Shall we come straight in?
Yes, please, and bring the delinquent with you. Holy smokes!
Where God would live if he could afford it.
Mrs. Gillette.
Aggie Wheeler, after all this time, I can't believe we haven't met before.
Neither can
But
I.
I've heard all about you from Willie. Of course, he just raves about you. He's wonderful.
Oh, doggone it, you finished dressing.
Oh, get over here, you wicked creature.
Marry me now, before the baby arrives.
Oh, you. I have known this young man since he was an extra in Pride and Prejudice. I played Mrs. Bennet.
Oh, I wish I'd seen it.
Oh, well, I played her a little you being out all there, you know.
It was quite a stretch.
Oh, you know it.
Did you make me a Christmas present? I love your presents. Last year, she made me her famous peach preserves. I was doubled over with joy for 3 days.
This is for you. Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. It's beautiful.
This house is amazing. It must have cost the earth.
Well, you know, Willie, it's never by halves.
When did you move in?
About 3 months ago now.
And how is he feeling?
Oh, well, he gave me quite a scare getting shot like that. And now he insists he's going to find the culprit all by himself. I said, Willie, you are not a policeman, but he keeps himself locked up for hours in that laboratory.
You have a laboratory?
Oh, my dear, this house has everything. Watch this.
Good Lord.
That's one of his favorites, along with the miniature railroad, the electric snow shovel, and the exploding monkey. Oh, that'll be Felix and Madge. I'll be right back.
Are you holding up all right?
I think so.
We'll be fine with it. Just trust me.
Right.
It's a good egg.
You sure?
Absolutely. Can't wait to see the look on their faces when we give them the news. They'll say, "What? What?"
Greetings and salutations.
What country friend is this?
It is Ilaria, lady.
My brother, he is in Elysium. Perchance he is not drowned. What think you, sailor?
It is perchance that you yourself were saved. Merry Christmas. Here's to the rebels. They shall be non-stop and very drunken. You realize we've been on vacation a mere 2 weeks and already I've missed you terribly.
Why, thank you, Felix.
You idiot. Aggie, I've been in love with her since I was... Uh-oh, there's my wife.
Oh, keep talking, darling. It will sound so wonderful when it's repeated in court.
How was your time off?
Luxurious. We went to a spa. Felix hated it.
There was nothing to eat or drink, and we had to do some bizarre Buddhist exercise.
That was called yoga.
I thought that was the white pudding stuff.
That was yogurt.
It was like spoiled milk with the texture of bone marrow. You'll never catch it.
Well, I cannot get over this place, can you?
He said it was something, but I have no idea.
But why would he build a castle on the Connecticut River?
Why does Gillette do anything? The man is insane.
I thought he was your best friend.
And I repeat, the man is insane.
He does build a very nice house, though. It would be wonderful for murder.
Why a murder?
Well, it's isolated. There are loads of rooms for hiding the body, and it's on a river, so you can drown people. What more do you want, an axe?
Got one.
2.
3.
As well as 2 broadswords, a garrote, and a brace of pistols. If Connecticut is ever attacked by Rhode Island, this house will be the first one in defense.
And the snow fell gently upon the little stable. And there, in front of it, was a manger made of wood. And in the manger was a boy child.
And his name was Sherlock Holmes.
William.
Willie boy.
Madge here. And Aggie.
How is your arm? Are you in pain?
Oh, it's much better. Thank you for asking. Simon, how are you?
It's good to see you, sir.
I see you've all arrived safely despite wind and weather.
It's getting pretty dicey out there.
Blow, Windsay, and crack your cheeks.
Spout, you have drenched our steeples, drowned the cocks.
Even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away.
The knave turns fool that runs away.
Where's my fool? Oh, I think the world's asleep.
To sleep, perchance to dream.
To sleep, no more.
Fault. You repeated sleep. Game, set, and match to Felix.
My God, I love
Of course you do.
Felix, you scoundrel, are you down here making fun of me?
it. What?
I do have the proof.
Why would he build a castle on the Connecticut River?
Why does Gillette do anything? The man is insane.
Thought he was your best friend.
And I repeat, the man is insane.
What in God's name was that?
It's my latest goodie. Microphones here and here, and I can turn them on and off at all the light switches.
But how do you play it back?
It's called the remote control. First presented in 1903 to the Paris Academy of Science and under development ever since. It sends signals through the air without wires. The military is starting to use them.
You're amazing.
Hello, my darling. I've brought some bubbly so we can really celebrate.
Now you're talking.
Here, let me help. That was awfully heavy.
Thank you, you darling boy. He always looks after me. Not like some sons I know who will remain nameless.
An ill-favored thing, sir, but my own.
Oh, stop flattering, Willie. He can be so irritating, especially since he got shot. He's so proud. By the way, Willie, where's Barnes? I can't find him anywhere.
Who's Barnes?
Oh, our butler. Can you imagine? We have a butler.
I gave him the night off.
What?
Well, he looked tired, and we're all family, really.
Oh, Willie, how could you? And with your bad arm, you can't even help me.
Oh, of course I can. Here. Look. I've been meaning to do this for 2 days now. Frame it.
We'll call it a farewell to arms.
I suppose there's been no progress finding the man who shot you?
Well, the police are stuck, but I believe I found something.
What?
Do you remember the note that was left at the stage door on the day of the shooting?
Stage door?
I do. Old Nogsy said the envelope was addressed to you, but the note was blank.
Exactly, and then the police lost interest in it. But I've been subjecting it to some tests upstairs in my laboratory, and in the end, it was all a matter of trial and error. Here, take a look. It took a few tries, but I mixed a little sodium carbonate into the alcohol, so it isn't just the heat that's doing it, but it's also the chemical.
Oh my gosh.
Look.
Dear Mr. Holmes, bang, you're dead.
Then they were trying to kill you.
Wait, there's more. Look. HVIII 135. It's like a cipher.
Maybe it's a German code. I mean, with Hitler and all.
Possibly, but on the other hand, Aggie, can you hand me that Shakespeare from the desk there? You see, most people don't realize it, but when Sherlock Holmes says the game is afoot in The Adventure of the Abbey Grange, he's in fact quoting Shakespeare.
Which play?
HVIII. It's Henry VIII.
That's a wonderful guess, Simon, but it's wrong.
Henry V.
Of course.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead.
I see you stand like greyhounds in the slips, straining upon the start.
The game's afoot.
So HV is Henry V.
And III 135 is...
Act 3, Scene 1, line 35. At the marking.
The game's afoot. Wow.
And that was left for you at the stage door? It's rather creepy.
But what does it mean?
It means whoever tried to kill you is seriously crazy.
There's something more, isn't there? Let me look at that. There's a watermark.
What's a watermark?
It's an impression left in the paper at manufacturing.
A sort of advertisement. Hotels use it and businesses.
Oh, Christ.
What?
Where's it from?
The Palace Theater.
Oh, God.
I'm not following this.
It means whoever wrote this had access to the theater stationery. It means they work at our theater.
It could have been someone from the stage crew.
Or a producer.
Or an actor.
Well, you certainly made it a jolly Christmas, Willie.
Oh, stop it. Let's not jump to conclusions. Someone could have swiped the paper, in which case no one here is involved at all.
That's
true.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the swiper.
Why, yes.
While we have the drinks out, and we're feeling jolly and all, I'd like to make an announcement, if I may. Well,
Go on.
Aggie and I are married.
What?
What?
You mean engaged?
Married 4 weeks now.
That's
He tells me
lovely.
nothing. My son tells me nothing at all.
We were going to tell you after the run, but then the shooting happened.
Oh, it's marvelous. Isn't it wonderful, dear?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
And you're so brave getting married again after what happened the last time.
Mother.
Well, she is. I mean, her husband died on their honeymoon, didn't he? Well, that's what I heard.
Mother, for heaven's sake.
Yes, he did die, Mrs. Gillette, and I don't mind talking about it. In fact, talking about it makes it more bearable.
There. Are you satisfied? Now, tell me what happened. I want to know everything.
Well, there isn't much to tell. Hugo and I, that was my husband, we were married just over a year ago, and we went to Killington in Vermont to go skiing for our honeymoon.
Did you really? I hear that's very expensive.
Her husband was quite well off.
Oh, well, that's what I heard. They said he was loaded. One of the richest men in
That's it. I give up.
Oh, stop it. I hate it when people beat around the bush. Well, it's like you and Penelope. You were married, she died, you miss her. There's an end to it. And you feel better when we talk about it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, dear, spill the beans.
Well, my husband was an excellent skier, but he decided to try the Black Diamond Slope, which is the most dangerous one at the resort. He got all dressed in his goggles and his jacket, and the attending tightened his gloves and his boots, and, well, he set off down that hill as happy as I'd ever seen him. And then,
Yes.
the strap on his boot just broke as he was coming down the hill, and his ski just sort of came apart or something as he hit the iciest part of the slope. Well, he hit a tree and he died instantly.
Oh, no.
I must have been in shock at first because I just tried to talk to people and pretend that things were manageable, but by the end of that first night, I was shaking so hard I couldn't stop.
And you were all alone.
Well, not for long. She had the good sense to wire me that night. We'd been best friends for ages, and I was on a show at New York at the time.
He dropped everything and arrived the next day. He was a great comfort.
And the rest is history. How romantic.
In a lugubrious sort of way.
Oh, don't you start. Martha's right. You've got to get on with life. No matter what the world throws at you, no matter how difficult it can get sometimes, you just have to say to hell with the bastards and go on living.
That's my girl. Let's cheer things up with a little music, shall we?
Here, here.
To the happy couple.
The happy couple. Wait a moment. I believe our final guest is arriving and she's pulling into the dock this minute.
There's someone else.
Who is it?
Yes.
Oh, Willie.
Is she in the show?
Not in the show, but in show business.
Do we know her?
Well, you certainly know of her.
I smell trouble.
Willie, will you stop being coy? Oh, my God, he could drive St. John to drink. Will you just tell us who it is?
It's Daria Chase.
What?
Oh, Willie, how could you?
She's awful.
She's worse than that.
Oh, I met her at a party once and she completely snubbed me.
She gave me the worst review I ever had in my life. It was a costume drama with Joan Crawford, no less. She said the radiant Miss Crawford came onto the clicking of high heels, followed by a lump of roast beef.
She said that I played Hamlet's mother, looking like a worried hamster.
I was in a show last year and appeared in a bathing suit. She wrote Simon Bright's audacity in the role was largely in excess of his equipment.
Well, she's clever at least.
She's a spiteful, gossip-mongering, harridan bitch. You owe us all an explanation.
All right, fine. She's writing a profile lead for Vanity Fair and she asked to come to one of our weekends. Now, like it or not, Daria Chase is the most influential columnist in the country. Why, her profile lead will give us more free publicity than if I shot Lincoln. So I would suggest that as a courtesy to me, you are at least civil to Miss Chase, and that you get off your fannies and get down to the dock and greet her at once. Thank you.
Exit ungrateful guests shuffling feet.
You're up to something, aren't you?
Simon is a fine fellow.
He's more than that.
What I mean is,
I know what you mean. He's ordinary. He's nice. He's easy to please. Well, he is those things, and he happens to be in love with me.
Are you in love with him?
Of course I am. I wouldn't have married him otherwise. Well, you know, he's very, very kind. When I needed him, he was there in an instant.
Of course he was.
But I was in love with you. You didn't ask me. I gave you every chance. I offered you everything.
I know what you did, and I was too foolish to take you up on it. I was under some misguided notion that I was being loyal to my wife's memory.
It's been 10 years since your wife died.
Yeah, I know it has.
William.
Maggie, you're going to be fine. The best man won, I'm sure of it. Besides, just look at me. Why, I'm old enough to be your slightly older brother.
Thanks a million. I don't know, I guess I just thought that you felt something, but you treat everything as a joke, even that horrible attempt on your life.
Not as a joke, Maggie, but as a game, which is a different thing entirely. Look, we've chosen this mad life of ours, and we'd be insane not to accept it for what it is. Do I go to an office? No. Do I wear a tie to work? No. We're actors. We wear silly costumes. We put on noses made of putty, for God's sake. We don't want to be grown-ups. We're all Peter Pans. And a good thing it is, too. What? I don't want to give up living because I've reached some magical age of regret. That's what they want us to do. You know, all those gray, faceless accountants. And I won't do it. I won't. I don't treat life as a joke. I treat it as the most magnificent game ever invented. Love and heartbreak, game, life and death, the greatest game, the biggest adventure. Shakespeare got it right on the nose. Henry V, charging into battle against overwhelming odds, and what does he cry? It's all a game, and if I die, I die. So let them praise me, hate me, or shoot at me. But at the end of the battle, I will have lived. Even for a moment. And if you think you need Simon to live like that, then go to him, cling to him, don't hesitate for a second. I will, however, miss you unutterably.
Gillette, guess who's here? It's our old friend Daria James.
Merry Christmas! Oh, William, you dear, sweet, vulnerable man. How's your arm? Oh, your heart, your soul. Oh, after that ghastly shooting, I thought I'd never see you again. Well, either that or you'd be some broken down, lying, limping towards his final watering hole.
And here I am, right as rain and twice as healthy. Daria, you look magnificent.
Oh, please. I simply grabbed whatever was in my sad little closet as I bounded out of New York City for the countryside on Christmas Eve, and oh, will you smell that air? I haven't smelled air like that since I was a little girl growing up in Kansas or wherever it is they have all those giant little cows and things. Oh, and how lucky you are to have all this nature around to comfort you.
Just like that famous painting on the grass, but without clothes on.
Felix, dear, how are you?
Not as well as you, obviously.
Please. My beauty is superficial, and yours is on the inside. Oh, and Madge, my dear, we do know back of ways. I remember when I first came to New York as a youngster, oh, how I looked up to you with all your years of experience.
And yet my friends and I called you mother.
Don't be silly, that's impossible. You didn't have any friends.
I had Felix.
And didn't everyone?
Daria, let me introduce you to the rest of the clan. This is my mother, Martha Gillette.
Well, we've met before, only briefly at a party. but I do read your column. In fact, I keep it right next to my bed in case I can't get to sleep at night.
Mother.
What a witty thing to say, and so completely unexpected.
Hello, Daria. It's nice to see you.
Simon, you already know.
As do you.
I didn't know that you
Oh,
two...
yes. We met at Kennington over the big weekend. I was there for skiing and all those divine parties. And then after I left, your husband had a ghastly accident, didn't he? Oh, I was so upset. If I had just stayed a little bit longer, I would have gotten one of the biggest scoops of the year. Oh, poor you. I'm sure it was very upsetting.
I bet you didn't know that they're married now.
For 4 weeks.
4 weeks, 2 days, and 6 hours. Especially proud of those 6 hours. Shows I can really stick with it.
Truth is, I did know about it, and I was planning on putting it in my column on Monday morning. Just look at the two of you. You're headline news. One minute you're character actors, and the next one, you inherited half of the Pacific Northwest.
What do you mean?
What do I do? Nothing. You just married the merry widow of Manhattan, for God's sake.
Sorry, but you've got it wrong. Hugo didn't leave her anything.
Excuse me, dear, but I am a reporter. But when I found the record from your marriage, I just happened to see Hugo's last will and testament. He left you everything, didn't he, my dear? All his millions.
Yes, he did.
That's wonderful. Why didn't you tell us?
I don't know. I didn't want it to affect my relationship with anyone. They would treat me differently. You know they would.
Does this mean I'm rich? Very rich? I'm rich! I'm rich! I'm rich! How do you do? I'm rich! Yes, you may touch me! You just made my day!
My goodness, William. I must say, this cast of yours has given me endless things to write about. It's like I invented you just for this purpose.
We would rather you wrote about the play, not us.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you wouldn't. Everyone wants publicity. It's magic and it's changing the world. Well, just look at me. I'm like a sorceress. One wave of my pen, I can make you a star. Poof. Publicity equals fame equals money. It's like a drug, but it never stops. And I must say, you've all been hogging the limelight beautifully, haven't you? Well, first the shooting, which in itself must have at least doubled my readership, and then the inheritance, and now the murder.
Murder?
What murder?
Do you mean the shooting?
No, the murder this morning. What, don't you? William, do you know about it?
Yes, I'm afraid I do. I was going to tell everyone about it after dinner.
Oops.
Who was murdered?
Knobs.
Did stage doorman noise?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh no.
The police called me to identify the body this morning. It happened late last night, apparently.
Yes, I was there.
Excuse me?
Well, at your theater last night. Well, not an actual murder, of course.
There's no show on at the moment.
I was doing background work for the article.
Did you see Knox there?
Yes, when I went in, but apparently he was murdered while I was already inside.
But who would murder him? I mean, poor Nazi.
Well, perhaps he saw something to do with the shooting, or maybe he overheard someone talking about it.
Could it have been an accident?
Or natural causes, like a heart attack.
That would be very comforting indeed, except his throat was cut from ear to ear with a razor blade.
There's a storm brewing.
And I have a feeling it's going to get quite nasty before it's over.
Oh, nonsense. It's Christmas Eve. Now let's go eat dinner. Right this way. Come along, everyone.
Oh, please.
Oh, hush, quiet.
Would you mind taking me in? I met the maiden aunt of the family. You're sad and lonely.
Of course.
Aggie, my darling, will you take me in? Like the bachelor uncle of the family. I'll full of myself and annoying.
Stop it, she'll hear you.
Let's leave the door open, shall we, so we can hear the music?
Are we still going through with this?
Absolutely.
right back.
Hurry it up.
We want dessert.
Aggie, dear, are you all right?
I was just looking around. It's so beautiful here.
Spectacular, isn't it? But that's William. He likes the best, and he usually gets it. But not always.
I had no idea he was this successful.
He's taken us all by surprise, actually. We started out together. We were roommates in the city, both of us as poor as church mice, auditioning for everything that came along. Then one day, out of the blue, he says, I think I'll write a play about Sherlock Holmes. And I say, don't be ridiculous. That'll never work. So he writes the play and stars in it and runs for 20 years, and here we are.
Well, I know he admires you tremendously.
Does he?
Oh, well. If it isn't the heiress of Brooklyn.
Hello.
Do you know, I've been thinking quite a lot about what happened to you. Pretty young actress, low money, meets eligible young man who's very rich. He falls madly in love with her, marries her, and then promptly dies on the honeymoon. And I think to myself, you must be the luckiest girl in the world.
Daria, she lost her husband, for heaven's sake.
Oh, please. Husbands are a dime a dozen. They come and go like ducks around a country pond. They waddle around looking self-important. They quack as though someone were actually listening to them, and then mercifully they die off and disappear.
I think I should go now.
Well, that was very endearing of you, Daria. Why don't you just take an axe and chop her feet off?
Oh, grow up. Little gold digger got what she wanted. Wanted? What does she want? A trophy? Oh, besides, she's got Simon in the bargain. Now, let's stop talking about them. Let's talk about me instead. What is it you like most about me?
Your shyness.
I like you because you're handsome and stoic. Does all of Gillette's success make you want to scream? Can't you see the inside with jealousy?
No, he's my best friend.
Oh, really? So you didn't try to shoot Gillette?
How could I? I was on stage when he was shot.
So was everyone else who was here this weekend? Except for the innocent Martha.
And you?
Why would I want to shoot him? I haven't even slept with him yet. Let's stop talking. Stop being stoic.
I'm a married man.
Oh, so your lips don't work anymore.
Daria.
Come on. 10 minutes upstairs. No one will miss us.
Daria.
Oh, we never get to spend time together.
We could be spending a great deal of time together in there eating dinner.
Oh, I see. You're angry about the review, aren't you?
Well, you did call me a side of beef.
But in a nice way. Oh, Felix, I was just trying to get along. I should tell the truth, am I right, shouldn't I? Truth and beauty, as the poet Shelley said. It's all we know, and we need to know.
Keats. It was the poet Keats.
Oh, Felix, you're even more attractive when you stand up to me.
I should get back to the others.
Not yet, surely.
Daria. Daria, down.
You know, Felix, there are certain things I know about your past that you may not want bandied about your loved ones. So I think it might be in your best interest to be nicer to me. Don't you think?
A wonderful dinner.
Ah, Philostrate, master of the revels, stir up the Athenian youth of merriment, awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth.
I shall turn melancholy forth to funerals. Now, let's get out the cards and play some bridge.
Oh, I'm up for pinochle.
Charades.
Dancing.
Come, I have something planned that's better than all of those put together. I'll give you a hint. It involves shimmering images.
Oh, really?
You could have a screening room like they do in Hollywood.
No, but a good guess.
A slideshow.
A walk in the moonlight.
It's clever, but unlikely under the circumstances.
Oh, Willie, what is it? You are so aggravating.
Well, what do you say to a seance?
A seance?
When churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world.
Do you mean like holding hands and talking to the dead?
We don't say dead, we say passed over.
Or we say lunatic head of acting company forces guests through a bad evening.
Are you really a believer?
Yes, that is I'm getting to be. Conan Doyle got me started and he's quite fanatical about it.
But don't we need a medium or something?
We do indeed, and tonight we have the best in the business. Daria.
I knew it. I knew you were up to something.
All right. I am warning you all right now that I take this all very seriously.
But when did you...
Oh, please, I've been a medium since I was 15. I was staying in Paris with my aunt and uncle who were in grief over the loss of their daughter, my cousin Clemens. Well, the family dabbled in these things, and one evening they invited me to their ceremony. While they were trying to contact Clemens and having no luck at all, when all of a sudden, without warning, she started speaking through my lips.
That must have hurt.
It was exhilarating.
But why have a seance tonight? Who are we contacting?
Guesses?
Knox.
Oh, dear old Nogsy.
But why?
Because, dear boy, he must have overheard something in one of the dressing rooms, the plot to kill Gillette, presumably. So if he tells us what he saw, or heard, or who it was that slit his throat, then the mystery is solved. Am I right?
Exactly.
Does that mean that we're all suspects?
Oh, no, not at all. You might say it was the wardrobe mistress or the understudy.
Or my Aunt Fanny.
All right, let's go.
All right. The table will be our center, our portal. Now, everyone, please bring a chair. Where are the tables?
Incidentally, we had a call this afternoon from a young woman. She said her name was Tamsin.
Oh, no.
Is there a problem?
No, she's a friend of mine. A girlfriend, actually. She knows I'm married now, but she persists in calling me. It's crazy.
Is she unstable?
No. Or I don't think she is. I hope not.
Does Aggie know about this?
Yes, and she understands it's not my fault. At least I hope she does.
Good. I believe we're ready.
Excellent. Tell us what to do.
All right. I want everyone to stand exactly where they are and take a deep breath. Very good. Now, I want you all to look around the room and feel the presence of other persons. Look at your friends, where they are, and how they look. Very good. Now, I'm going to turn the lights down, and I want you all to have a seat at the table anywhere you please.
Beginning to feel creepy already.
You are creepy already.
Be quiet. All right. I'm going to turn some music down, just to calm things down a little bit. The mood in the room is very important. Let the mood relax you. Let it enter your bodies. Slowly, deeply.
I could get used to this.
Does it always work? I mean, are you always successful in reaching someone?
No, quite the contrary. Well, all we can do is create the proper atmosphere and hope that someone from the other side will want to join us.
We could serve drinks.
My contact was a young actress who was killed by her husband in 1820 in London after a performance of Othello. He thought that she was committing adultery with her leading man.
Life imitates art.
Well, isn't that comforting? All right. Now I want everyone to put your hands on the tables, fingers connected.
My name is Count Dracula. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Sorry.
Laurentia, are you there? Laurentia, this is Daria. Could you please come and visit us? I think you would like this visit because you would be doing someone a big favor.
Good God!
That wasn't me.
Thank you, Laurentia. Thank you for coming. We deeply appreciate it. Now, Laurentia, listen very carefully. Someone by the name of Knobs, the stage doorman at the Palace Theater in New York City, was murdered recently. And we are hoping that you can bring him here so we may ask him some questions. Are you willing to help us, Lorenza?
I think we should put a stop to this.
Don't be a baby.
I'm telling you, it's a bad idea.
You two quiet down. Now, Lorenza, is there anything that you would like for us to do for you, my dear? Stop, dear, stop! Oh, keep your hands on the table, keep that connection. Lorenza, my dear, is there anything that you would like to say to us? Lorenza, are you still there? Lorenza, please.
Murder. Confess or die.
What?
Simon?
I didn't do anything.
Confess or die.
Stop doing that. I have nothing to confess.
Confess or die.
Stop it.
Leave her alone.
Simon, make her stop.
And stop this nonsense at once. I don't believe for
Wait, oh, she's not pointing at you. She's pointing out the window.
Where?
Oh, through there. I think there's someone out there.
Don't touch her! Whoever killed Moms is next, so for God's sake, confess it now! Confess it, I beg you! No one?
That didn't work very well now, did it?
Well, it was a good try, though.
Yes, but now we're gonna get yelled at. I can feel it.
Madge.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. It was his idea, and we had a knife left over from the maid of
You
turkey.
mean this was a joke?
Well, not a joke, exactly.
Not a joke at all. We're trying to catch a murderer.
Which means you do suspect one of us.
Well, not exactly.
I was frightened to death.
I had my suspicions.
Oh, you did not.
I'm sorry, old
Don't
man.
touch me, you idiot.
Darling.
Don't speak to me.
Excuse me, but someone is trying to kill me, and I'd like to stop them before it's too late.
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
How dare you? What was this all to you? Some sort of a parlor game?
Of course not.
Oh, you! What am I to you? Some figure of fun?
Now, wait a second. I had nothing to do with this.
Ah, shut up, you little worm! All you're after is her money!
Now, that's a lie. A dirty, filthy
Oh,
stinker.
oh, and you! Oh, you and your too big actor husband! The man you adore! The man you would defend to the death! Huh. Has he told you yet that we slept together? That he made love to me in a New York hotel?
For one night, big mistake. No fun at all. Oh. Felix.
Oh, and you, Mr. High and Mighty, the great William Gillette. Just wait till I get through with you in my arsenal. Pompous man, pompous.
Leave him alone. You don't deserve to clean his shoes. You
shut
are.
up! Believe me, when I'm through with you, you will never work in the theater again. Let alone star in anything. People will laugh at you. You and your rude mother and your adoring girlfriend.
She's my wife.
And she's in love with him. Can't you see anything, you stupid fool? Oh, you just get out of my sight!
This is my house.
And I will be leaving it as soon as possible. But for the moment, I would like some privacy.
No. Simon, you know it's not true. Simon!
It was just sex. It took 5 minutes. 3 minutes. It went by so fast I couldn't remember it.
Daria? I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
I will ruin you. Hello? Operator? Operator! Oh, thank God. I thought maybe the line was... Never mind. Is there a taxi company in this godforsaken place? A taxi company. T-A-X-I. Well, put them through! Oh, good. How do you do? Could you please send a taxi to the Gillette Estate on Collins Drive? Collins. Oh, God. C-O-L-F. Yes! Well, I'm sure that it will be very difficult to get through all this snow, but that's your problem now, isn't it? Just get me the goddamn car!
Hello?
What do you want?
Well, I thought you might like a cup of tea to help you calm down.
I am perfectly calm, so you need no bother.
Oh, it's no bother. And I'm sure everyone's very sorry for hurting your feelings. It was entirely unintentional, you know.
It was not unintentional at all. Your son knew exactly what he was doing by having that seance, which was to have it for his own ends.
His life is in danger. Someone's trying to kill him, and you'll have to admit he needs to do something about it.
I'll have to admit no such thing, thank you very much. The police are handling the investigation quite competently, I'm sure. And just because your son has neurotic delusions of being Sherlock Holmes is no reason to make the rest of us suffer.
Well, he has no delusions at all.
Please! With his little gadgets and laboratory and the railroad. Do you know, I actually think he's insane. Yes, insane. A madman. And he should be put away.
Oh, how dare you say that? How dare you? You're the one who should be put away with your rudeness and your mediums and seances.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, I knew girls like you when I was growing up. The bad girls, we called them, the malicious ones. They pretended they knew things because they were insecure.
Oh, insecure.
Oh, they bullied the ones who were afraid of them. They spread rumors and lies because they were unpopular.
Get out. Get out, you old hack! And believe me, I am going to ruin your son! He'll be the laughing stock of the entire profession!
Oh, Daria, I just wanted to say again, I had nothing to do with that travesty. I mean, I joked with you, yes, and teased you a bit, but you shouldn't blame me for that.
I'll stop your blithering. I know what you're up to. You're scared to death, and you want everyone to think you're just an idiot.
But I am just an idiot.
Oh, get out!
Daria!
Get out!
Don't speak, not a word, just listen. As someone who was once your friend, regardless of our little mistake, I want you to know that this display of yours was entirely uncalled for. I suggest that you apologize to everyone before something untoward happens.
Untoward?
Unexpected, unfortunate. Now take my advice. You may not think that I'm your friend, but I am.
Oh, Felix! Felix! Oh, Felix, get back here! Felix, I'm talking to you! Oh, what the hell do you want now?
Here, I meant to leave that with you, but I took it with me by mistake.
Is everyone in this house insane? Will someone shut that door up? Shut up, you stupid beast! Ah, damn it, the oh, stupid house. Can't see it. Ow! Jeez, ow! Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? I can't see a thing. Hello? Oh, you again. Oh, why can't you people leave me alone? You know this is...
I realized the seance was no help, and it was rather stupid of me. But you see, I get these intentions now and then, and I sometimes just can't help myself.
In the back!
Yes, I'm sure it seemed like it was in the back, but I was trying to catch you together. Sometimes I just want to do something and not entertain people. Now, can't we just forget the whole thing yet?
No!
Well, that's not very helpful, now is it? All right, goodbye. Oh, right, I forgot to lock the back door. I'm not looking at it, I'm locking it. I'm closing up for the night. Daria! Oh, dear God! She's...